Alright guys, so another video here with 318 heads. So this is for that basically budget build. Here's actually the intake. I guess I did a video a long time ago on it. You guys can find that on my channel. Oof, these things are heavy, man, because they cast. I'm telling you, this thing is like 80 pounds. If this is a small block Chevy, it'd be so light. Mopars. Small blocks are like big blocks. I ported the heck out of this. Ooh. Let me just get my light for you there. Ported the heck out of this back a while ago. And I didn't even go to the gasket size, if you can see. Oh, I can't really see. I didn't go to gasket size. I just opened it up. And that to where like I saw that it was sitting on the old 360 port. Ooh, that'll be fine. These have water jackets underneath, so you know, different fuel distribution, and then we're gonna have to make a flat plate that'll have an attachment for the automatic, or well, it's a mechanical heat riser choke. But yeah, I did some modifications to this back when, and it should work well with the BBD 2 barrel adapted on it. Here are the 318 heads. They're not cleaned up yet. They're mostly done. Let's see. Can I get a good port look? Well, we can look at one of these maybe. Really, and what I tried to do with these here, and I did my final cut on these. Really, you got to cut down the valve guides a lot. Luckily, these didn't have like the weird S shape where it like curls back over, so all I had to do was cut them down. And then I broke all my 6-inch bits on my 3/4, so all I had left was the Dremel. Hold on, let me see. So really, my last focus here from what I was working on was right in here. Right there, in there. Opening that angle side up. Right here. And then working on transitioning over the final bowl cut into the bowl. So it's right around 85%. So it's really tight still, but like even at 85%, like your restriction's not going to be too terrible, and like it's not perfect. Cutting the valve guide does add CFM. It's been noted, and also cutting the push rod pinch, which as you can see here is what I did. Adds a lot. These were a lot of work. Really, like okay. So we're running a stock 362 barrel cam. So with a stock 362 barrel cam, which I believe that's what it is. If it's not, I don't know what the heck it is. I know it's then a marine cam, and it might be a marine 340 cam, whatever. As long as the duration is not over like 225, because we're using flat tops as explained earlier, with no valve reliefs, because it's from a 318 poly. They're sitting 10 thousandths under the deck. Anyway, so basically what I was getting at here is we shouldn't have issues with the 178 valves and valve reliefs. But oh yeah, no, I was getting the lift of the cam. So the cam, if it is the original 362 barrel cam, it's like a 210, 210 at 50, 252, 252 total for duration. The later 340 barrel cams, or 362 barrel cam, had a 410 lift, which we're not getting because stock rockers. So it's gonna be low lift. So I tried to do my focus like if you saw the original video, these are sharp edges. So just basically protector valves in, roll them back. So that's what I kind of tried to do. Somebody had already done a chamber cut. Actually, it's a 340 or 360 wide, I noticed, when they did the chamber cut on these. And it's like, well, whatever. We'll just run it. But that's kind of what I was doing, just trying to get this to do to work well. Um, so anyway, like for flow, I don't know what the flow is going to be. But actually, when it comes to this engine, most of your flow that you're going to be getting is at those low lifts, anyways. Which is why if you're rebuilding an engine with a stock cam, you really want to focus on a valve job. To be honest, if you're not going to swap heads, but you want to send your heads in to get redone, get a performance valve job. Now, this is not a stock valve job. In fact, this has the you can see that there. It's got like the annealing spiral locks or whatever spiral in it. So this was a rebuilder head. Somebody rebuilt it, and the engine we found, it must have had like 10,000 miles on the rebuild, but we didn't know, so we tore it down. But anyway, so most of that's going to be low lift. Now, the reason why you want to do port shape even on such a low lift, and trust me, if I really on my other set of heads that you guys might see on this channel, this right here is a lot wider cut out. But port shape is important, and that is for your fuel distribution. And actually, at least one of the areas I feel is most important for your fuel distribution is right in here. This right in here by the short side. As that air is coming around, right on this edge, if you can get a lot of air to come through right here, it'll help pull the air to the side. And what the air does is it comes out through the chamber and it swirls around. So, and also though, the air likes to come around the valve, either side of the valve, and push out this way, right? Because a lot of your restrictions here, and so air is also trying to go out here. So if you look at this head, and it might be pretty hard to tell, this side shoots more straight up and down than this side, because this side comes up and it curves out. So you don't want to dig out this side of the bowl necessarily on the inside here, because you don't want too much air flowing around this side. Now you want air. You want to make sure air is coming around this side. If you don't have a flow bench, right? You can't tell. You want to basically blow material through and make sure air is coming around this side. But you don't want to bulge this side out. Basically, as you go, and if you are widening this side, if you're widening the cylinder wall side here, so this side on that end, or on this side, as you're widening this side, blow material through and see if material is coming through on the other side. On these 318 heads specifically, I like to try to get it to where that the bit itself can fit around, and that's it. And I try not to, when I'm trying to get the bit to fit around, I'm not pushing on this one. Rather, I'm cutting down the valve guide and making sure that it fits around, especially for a street application on 318 heads. Short side, if I was going to do anything, right here, and a little bit. So widen out this a little bit, not angle back, not cut the thing down here. Now, I would like to mess around and see what would happen if you did just like leave this side higher when you're shaping that, making this one just a little bit lower and smooth the transition, because what you want is that fuel to just help be pulled out. But at the lifts we're running, okay, so we're running what? It's going to be probably 370 lift, because when you count the rocker ratio being absolutely terrible, you're going to want to get that as much low lift as possible, and up, basically it's mid lifts, because it's like 300, almost 400 lift. So when it's just starting to use the short side there, basically you want that tall short side that these heads really do have. Like if you you can see it, that short side, it raises up, like the whole port starts, because this is upside down, but the whole port starts coming up and then it goes around. Well, that helps with mid lifts depending on the shape of the port, right? So we don't want to cut that down. and I don't want to change the shape because I know it still can be critical kind of at that short side, but I know the stock short side is going to work pretty decently with the shape of these ports. So basically what I like to do, and this is kind of a short side transition like I showed earlier, if it's the stock ones I've been working on, oh, there's my finger, I like to focus on here, getting this transition good, the port, and then the middle of the port transition. Let me find something to point here. Pencil. There you are. So middle of the port transition right here. And then starting to kind of get into that short side, but not really. And you just focus on this area. Let me come to the other side. Right here. Right here. Let's see. This area right here, this transition, because this isn't the short side touching you. It's just where the point of this pencil is. This area right here. Get that the transition from this port up into here. You get that transition, that is actually worth a lot of your flow, especially when you're running low lifts, right? Because about 300 to 400 lift is what your transition from your valve job, how well your valve job is, to your port shape. So I also, when porting this, then also wanted to keep size down because you want to keep torque. So you can't really tell, but I did not do a whole lot of work to this. These 318 heads, the outside of the casting on these, so the thickness of the metal is like a 360 port thickness with a 318 port on the inside, which is nice on these 763 or let me see. Yeah, 593, 163 heads. So yeah. Basically, so that's kind of my thoughts on and update on, porting 318 heads specifically, kind of for, the stock head. And you can see here, I didn't even get to the valve job that I did. I didn't even cut into the valve job because I had protector valves. Get yourself just one set, one of each. It can be even a junk set of valves of each for these intake and exhaust, and you'll be set. Anyway, yeah. So this should work a lot better. I've done the same thing on another set of 318 heads. Same exact open shaper heads. That truck runs great. We thought we had fueling issues because we were using a lot more fuel. Turns out carburetors send the same amount of fuel no matter how much air you move. The truck had fueling issues, but anyway. So that truck runs great. It has a lot of torque, but I also put a cam in it, and it's a 318 cam in it, and ported the intake too as well. So we're just trying to do a little hopped up 2-barrel more for fuel mileage, to be honest, and we'll see how fun that gets. We might even use the stock lean burn. Oh no.